4 hours is the closest spot.
Basically, yeah. What is on? We are back. It's the Insiders. I'm here with Darren, looking fresher than ever with a new little haircut, and his glasses are on wonky, which is pretty cool. And I'm sweating it one out in a flat in England. It is hot right now. The flat spell looks to be over this weekend for us, Daz. What about you?
Yeah, it's looking like Saturday. We've got like super fun waves with offshore, so it's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaos after 3 weeks of. Let's put it this way, Matt. I probably went
Pain.
into the forest maybe 4 or 5 times. I sat, I meditated, I did some breathing exercises. I looked at bugs. Uh, I was forced to do a bit of bike riding. There's this little sort of outdoor gym near my son's school, and I was doing bench presses on it and all this stuff that I don't usually do if there's surf. And yesterday and today I surfed with some clients, and it's amazing how much better I felt. And I didn't want to go. It was crap. It was windy, and I got out there and I had fun. And then I had fun today. I'm happy. Flat spell's over.
Yeah,
3 week flat spell. It's pretty.
it's heavy. That's what it's been here. It's been 3 weeks this Saturday since I last surfed. But I've had to put myself in the doghouse for it. No, to be fair, my missus is like sound, but um I just told her, I said, look, I'm sorry. I don't know what we've got planned this weekend or not, but I'm going surfing. Like it's a 4 hour drive for me there, 4 hour back because the waves won't reach where I'm at. And
4 hours is the closest spot.
basically, yeah,
And
yeah.
she won't come with you? Can't take her
Well,
with you?
she doesn't come because of the dog and stuff, and because I just do a day mission.
Kind of a bit of
So
a suck. Spend 8 hours in a car if you're not getting rewarded out of that at the end, I guess, isn't it?
exactly, spending 8 hours in the car with me, geez, that's punishment, isn't it? So
Partner of a surfer. That's
yeah,
just part of the.
she's so good with it. Like to be fair, I think she's glad that I'm gone for the day. Um,
Yeah, I'm feeling her.
so yeah, and
I'm not
talking
actually feeling her, but I'm just feeling what she's feeling. I'm smoking what she's rolling.
exactly, you're
Yeah.
you're on the same, you're on our level. Um, Talking about car journeys and spending car journeys with me, first thing I wanted to talk about was a privilege that I had this week is Maurice Cole was in England and he's been shaping boards down with Mark Lascelles in Cornwall, and he came up to board shop to meet us and to look. We're stocking his boards. It's no secret I've been demoing his boards since October and love them. And I had to go and pick him up from from a location which was about an hour and a half. So I got to spend an hour and a half like one on one with Maurice Cole. The guy, the stories that guy has, Jesus. If we'd done a poddy with him, it would be 3 weeks
You
long.
couldn't you couldn't do one.
No, it would
He is
be
he is a character. I don't know. I don't know if we can. I'll spend the rest of the episode trying to think of someone in a parallel. Well, I guess you could compare him actually to a little bit older version of Barton Lynch now.
yeah, yeah, I can see that. Um, Weirdly, he reminded me of you quite a lot because he's got stories and he just absolutely. I mean, firstly, he absolutely loves surfboards, which is unreal. Like it, you can hear it in how he speaks. He was telling me he's still tweaking designs and playing with things and having ideas, and it's amazing to talk to him about what I felt on his boards. And he genuinely listens and explains things and goes through fins and everything was just so sick to talk to him. And then he was telling me stories about how he was in the car with Ross Clark Jones and they got from Hossegor to Mandukah in 59 minutes.
Yeah, I've heard that story.
And
Ross had a Porsche at the time. I wonder if it was in that.
yeah, it was. He said it was some V6 or V8 thing, and he was doing like 230 or something crazy. And at the time, I was driving in my white Ford Fiesta, which is tiny and stuff. I was like, he probably thinks I'm driving like a grandma, but
Cruising at 50 miles.
yeah. But it was just an absolute honor and privilege. And do you know what? Every sentence that came out of his mouth, he was like, "Oh, I spoke to Eric Akawa yesterday," or "Oh yeah, a week ago I was speaking to," and like Ross Clark Jones, or like, "Oh, last week I was talking to blah blah," and you're just like, he like everyone that he talks about, and which are his friends, and I'm not putting people on pedestals, but they're like legends in the game, and you're just like, wow, it's pretty sick. It's really cool. So that was a privilege. I was honored to share the car with him, to be honest. And yeah, legend. And he did say when I come to Hossegor in September, he was like, "Oh, we'll go surf Lenore." I was like, "No, we won't." I was like, "You can." I was like, "You'll go out with Daz, and I'll take some photos."
Well, we'll see. Maybe
We said,
you can always paddle out on the shoulder there. There's plenty of like sometimes, not often, but sometimes you can get out there with dry hair
yeah,
and just look up at it. But it depends if
I'll
you
get on
know.
the back of someone's ski or something.
All
Um,
good, all good. It's funny, like at one stage he was Taj Burrows on his boards when he was younger because he was an
yeah,
incredibly good surfer as well when he was younger. Like he was like a Victorian champion, I think, huh?
yeah, yeah.
And also like the tube potentially, I think he was like the tube maestro of Hossegor when Le Gravier came to prominence. Before that, people
Mm.
weren't really surfing it. Then he was here. Then Tom Curran came and was hanging with him.
Yeah, and he was Tom Curran, the famous Tom Curran at J Bay, like on the reverse V. Was actually a bit. This is what I wanted to talk about actually, because we are the insiders. We bring inside knowledge, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not, but he probably won't listen, so I don't care. He's work. He's shown me clips, and he's working on an edit and a thing with Geordie Smith, and Geordie's been riding some of Morris's boards at J Bay with the reverse V and the fluid flyers, and he's shown me some clips, and jeez, it looks good. Like it
It'd be
looks
good to
really.
see. I'd love to see Geordie ride one of them in the comp.
Oh, and the comp would be so classic. But
Even though I'd rather just see the free surfing at it. Actually, to tell you the truth.
yeah, watching it was so good. Like the amount of water that he was displacing was mental.
Hey, a good one on Morris. This guy, this hardcore old the local from here, told me the other day, like a really good surfer, and I can't say any names, but he said back in the day, like I think it was the pist at Cabraton, which is kind of like Cabraton's version of Le Gravier. He slapped one of the young, who now is like one of the, known as one of the senior oldest locals here, and he slapped him and sent him in. Huh? And he was, imagine he was like an Australian. He
yeah,
wasn't from here, but he'd been surfing those spots probably at the time he pioneered them when they just kicked off. And he was built like a brick shithouse. And not, it would have been less than 10 years before that he was in prison, and he was a hard man, and a
yeah,
hard looking man. And I said to this guy, I said, "Oh, what did he say? What did he say?" He said he went straight in,
yeah. Paddle in, apologize,
head between his tails.
hand over your lunch money.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so that was something I had this week, which was it was sick. It was just so much fun. Like, I'm like, just I'll froth out on anything. Um,
Well, having one of the world's most iconic surfboard shapers in the car for an hour and a half when you love surfboards like yourself is not a occasion to be snuffed at.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And he did say he's listened to a couple of the episodes actually, which is he might have just I don't know if he has or not. He probably doesn't even he's probably
I
wrong
don't,
body, but
I don't necessarily believe that, but we'll see. You never know.
yeah.
We'll quiz
But
him. We'll quiz him.
yeah, what one? What did we say
What?
every 10 minutes? Um,
What else are you feeling at the moment in the world of surfing, Matthew?
okay, well,
Considering we've had a lot of time to analyze shit because we haven't actually been surfing.
yeah, exactly. So if we quickly touch on El Salvador, firstly, these breaks, man, they just kill it. I hate it so much. I know it's not the WSL's fault. Like they can't control the waves, but they're waiting on finals day again, and it's 4 days now, and everyone's forgotten about what's happened. Which is kind of annoying because I think it's quite an interesting event. You know, like lobbies in the semis with
I reckon they shouldn't have run the quarters. That's what I was thinking the other day. They shouldn't have run the quarters because I mean, if they're gonna like have a 5 day layway, at least when they start back up, have it
yeah, you've
like
literally got
like so. What you're saying, so you can get build into a bit of a momentum as
yeah.
opposed to it's for example two of the guys from the semis and two of the girls from it's all over now.
I'm about to say you literally you're
Yeah, I'm bored. I agree, Matt. I'm bored shitless with this event. Unfortunately, they didn't score the sort of waves we're all hoping. Um, the WSL just basically they rewired the the
well.
tour into a shit tour. Full
Is
stop.
it
Like
is
it
it
used to be
constant?
Chopu, Fiji, J Bay right in the middle of the season.
Yeah, Dream Tour.
Shibong. Best waves in the world, best surface, best waves. And it's no longer the case.
Is it constant bad luck that they're not getting good waves, or is there something like is it a karmic thing, or is it
This
it looks
spot's not good enough. I spoke to a young kid last night, and his dad used to send me pictures of this same exact break, like 10 years ago. His dad's from San Bartolome in the Caribbean, and he'd
yeah.
fly over to this spot for a swell when it was kind of uncrowded 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. And I saw him at the restaurant last night, and I said, "Hey, Dimitri," I said, "What is it?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's not like it used to be, and it really needs a big bomb and swell for it,
Mm.
like a big bomb and swell." And like big bombing swells aren't necessarily on tap at anywhere in the world. Like
No.
they didn't run Jaws this year, so they need to get to spots that have got more exposure. Taking to Fiji, even a bad day at Fiji, is
Did
kind
you
of better than a good day nearly anywhere else.
did you see the windsurf comp that ran at
Yeah,
Cloudbreak?
yeah, I think I saw a bit of that.
It's kind of like yeah, like
You watch J Bay, even a bad comp at J Bay, they still get some really good
J-Bay's
days.
J-Bay's amazing. I love
It's my
Jeffrey
favorite
J-Bay.
comp,
Yeah, mine too.
and
By far.
and there are spots out there. There's got to be laughs. Like I'm calling like okay, so if they don't go to Raglan, they've got to be going to Chile or somewhere, Peru, in the right season, but they don't want to know about it. So what are we going to
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's a real pity because it used to be such an incredible thing to watch, and I've lost. I don't want to, but I'm losing interest
Me
because even
too.
even okay, the best of the best scenarios, Brazil's pumping, then J Bay's pumping, then Tahiti's pumping. So let's say who's the best surfer and best waves ever? I'll give you one choice.
John.
Yeah. So just say John wins, come make semis at freakishly make semis in Brazil, wins J Bay, beats Geordie in the final at J Bay, beats Jack in the final at Tahiti, comes in at number 3, it trestles 2 or 3, and it's 4 foot, and Felipe beats him, and
Yeah.
that's it. There's your tour. There's your tour for the year. You're like, there's like it's just not.
No, yeah, I get it's just so anticlimactic.
It's just not.
Especially when you go if it's pumping bombing chopes and then the next event you watch is
Yeah,
3 to 4 foot trestles, you're a little bit
yeah,
like
yeah. Can't match it. Like as well, they got to finish at pipe.
and
Should be
that's what
finished in
that's what
January.
yeah, I agree. And that's what with El Salvador, it's like lobbies in the because what is it? It's Griffin's got Lob, I think, and Philippe's got Ian Gentile. And if one of Ian Gentile or Liam O'Brien win this now, it's just it's going to be amazing, but it's also like half the world's forgotten about it.
Yeah, I really hope Liam wins.
Same. But how
Wow, how good he was surfing. And I thought he was underscored and he still beat Ethan, even though Ethan fell off once or twice, didn't he?
he fell once, yeah.
I think he's going to have to start bringing something else to the table.
Well, it's funny how the wave he fell on, he went harder and more progressive and then fell and he got penalised for it. So everything that Medina and Italo said about safety surfing being scored higher, they almost proved it. And I'm not saying Ethan safety surfs, but if
Yeah, but if
Ian,
you fall off, that you can't get that part of your score on your wave.
yeah, if Ethan surfed that wave at 70%, he would have got 2 8s probably and been sweet. But he tried to push it, tried to be progressive, fell and got penalised for it. And it's like, can't win. But um, yeah, it's just a bit of a shame. I just don't like the breaks.
Yeah, you get that. You get that. Hey, so here's something I can put on the table because you've been in my coffee shop, haven't you?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. So I came in there like 10 days ago, I think it was, and there's this one of the guys that works with Pure. They've got this surf magazine called Well and Right, in which in German means ride waves or whatever. And he's on the coffee shop terrace with this massive, tall, blonde guy. And I go, "Oh, you're Tim, aren't you?" And he's like, "Yep." Because last year they did the German championships just up the beach, and I saw, and he won it. And I was thinking, oh, that was pretty cool. He won it. I'd heard his name, but not really seen much of him. And then, like the next week, it was like 6 to 8 foot Guardian out in front, where it's just so hard. And it took me half an hour to get out. And I was saying to myself, I'm not gonna catch one straight away. And then I caught one straight away, got a good one, kind of a bit of a tube, and then got washed in, and then ran up the beach. Took me another half an hour to get out. When I got out, thought I was going to vomit.
Mm.
And then I kind of got into this vibe, and I started thinking, "Oh, I'm going to get a really good one. I'm going to get a really good one." One break further out and ripped the leg rope through my plugs through the board. I just had to
Oh,
swim
I
in, and that
remember
was
that
it.
day.
And I seen this kid out there, and I was going, "Oh, he's having a crack." This kid, this German kid, and I saw him take off on this crazy wave, and then I kind of saw a bit of footage, then I kind of followed him, and I saw a bit of footage, and then found out he actually grew up in Fuerteventura, in
Yeah.
the Canaries, and it turns out his parents loved wind. His dad was a windsurfer and everything, and they just moved there. So he both of his parents are German, but he grew up in the Canaries, so he's kind of like an island boy. Speaks full like Spanish, like he speaks German and English. And
Jeez.
he stands up and he's the same. And I said, "Geez, you're like Owen Wright." And he goes, "Funny you should say that. He's got the exact same specs as Owen Wright."
Madness.
Huh?
Yeah. He's
And you remember Didier was telling us about how he said he's the best
yeah,
6, 7 foot
in small waves.
surfer in small waves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I asked him to come onto the potty.
So I was gonna say, so when Didier mentioned him, I kind of looked him up a little bit more and was just like, Jesus, kid rips. Like absolutely. And you surprised me because well, you surprised me with the recording because you was just like, bang, here I've had a chat with Tim. Was it Tim Elter, isn't it?
Yes.
That's probably not how it's pronounced, but that's how it's spelt. Um, and I was like, oh, sick Dazza. And then listened to it. And I thought it was like, because I listened to it cold. I had no idea you'd even done it. And I think he's super interesting as well as ripping and like follow him on Instagram because he does like he fully rips.
And he's one of those people that I saw a couple when I was really like many years ago on the sunny coast I sort of remember this kid called Jai Gofton who went on and did the QS and everything. He was really good surfer from Majimba, which is across the river from Maroochydore. And you just see people that come into this hot streak, and it looked
Mm.
like that's what he was coming into. And then he won this year, just like a few months ago, the Pro Junior in
Morocco.
Morocco.
Yeah.
It was the first German to win a Pro Junior since Marlon Lipke, who actually made the tour at the time. Who he grew up in Portugal and everything. It was the first one since.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't live in Germany because their land it's a landlocked country.
Yeah, of course.
But it's like an English kid that grows up wherever, still got English blood. They just got the advantage of growing up in a wave-rich area, like especially the Canaries. And
Well,
it's funny
it's like
he's
Sky
moved
Brown,
here,
isn't it?
huh?
It's like Sky Brown. Sky Brown's English, but I think she's lived in California like her whole life.
She's a snowboarder or a skater.
She's the skater and surfer. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But like
Yeah,
she's
well,
English.
you are your blood. Huh?
Yeah, apparently so.
Like I've got an Australian accent, but if you go deep into my blood, it's European.
Yeah,
And I can't say it's just English because, like, since checking it out with my parents, it's 5/8 English, 1/8 Irish, 1/8 Scottish, and 1/8 German.
yeah. I'd like to say I'm Australian just for the passport, but I'm not.
Well, you look it.
That's all I need, Does.
So anyway, well, let's have a listen to my chat with Tim.
Yeah, this is Tim Elter, Darren Broadbridge special while I was at work. So, and it's sick. Check it out.
Welcome to the Insiders and welcome to the show, Timmy Elter. How are you, Tim?
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm super stoked. Just saw you before in the cafe. To be honest, I haven't really ever heard of you, which surprises me because I think I should have. And yeah, I'm definitely excited.
I'm undercover, man. I'm undercover. So just so the viewers understand, or the listeners who don't know you understand a little bit more about you. Do I understand correctly? Both of your parents are German,
Yeah, that's totally right.
and you live in the Canaries. On what island?
I was born and raised on the Canary Islands on Fuerteventura. And yeah, I've been living there my whole life pretty much, traveling a lot. But now this year I pretty much moved to southern France, a little village a bit north of Osegor, Vieux. I live in my grandparents' flat, and yeah, I think it's just better for me for training because I feel like at home nobody's pushing me anymore, and here it's the epicenter of Europe, so you got so many great surfers, and yeah, I think it's pretty cool here.
When the banks are firing between Le Gravier and Gazans, even up to Vubuku, you can not always be the best guy on the bank, correct?
Yeah, never. Like it's crazy. Like when I go to Osgore, there's like at least 20 guys that surf like me, and at least another pack of 20 that were CT or RCT or just. And then there's so many other guys from elsewhere in Europe or in the world that come there. So I feel like it's the best place to be, because you always get pushed by the guys your age, and then obviously you look up to some guys a bit older than me, like Marco Mignot, Justin Becret, and then the guys that already made it to the top, like Mickey Picon and Jeremy Flores, are also like my head coach, Didier Peter. Is like a lot of inspirational stuff going on.
Yeah, Diddy is a good friend of friend of mine. He spoke to me about you last week, and it's funny you mentioned Justin because he just drove past me at the cafe a minute ago. He stopped and said hello, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what it's been like here, like for the last 10 years. Before that, we had a few really good surfers here, and then it kind of exploded, and then obviously because Hoscore's on the map. So we get world visitors all the time. So you're enjoying that then?
Yeah, for sure. And about Diddy, I actually just listened as much as I could from your episode with Diddy. And yeah, I mean, it's so great to be around like all these guys, like as I said, like Diddy's generation, and then all the younger guys or guys that are a little bit older than me. And yeah, it's just great, you know.
So how old are you, Tim?
I'm 19. I'm gonna turn 20 in October. So yeah, still young.
A kitten.
Yeah, kinda.
And how
Becoming a
did you?
lion though.
So how did your parents end up in the Canaries? What were they windsurfers? Were they surfers?
My dad was he became a windsurfer in Germany. He started on the little lakes they got, like the artificial lakes they have. And then it kind of became a passion for him when he was my age, like 17, 18, 19. Then he started to go with the Volkswagen bus to like Tarifa, southern Spain, and then to the Canary Islands. And he liked it so much that he stayed. And then he discovered surfing as well, bit by bit. And now he has quit windsurfing almost. Like he windsurfs only on the perfect days, and then the rest of the time he's just surfing, longboarding. And yeah, great longboarder, by the way. And
Okay.
my mom, she was working for a German company for a long time, and then she said, "Nah, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of Germany. Gonna move to Canary Islands." And then they actually met there.
And so what's your favorite wave in the Canaries? That's not a secret one. Famous normal wave.
Oh, yeah, good that you excluded the secret ones, because I think those are the best. But um, anyways, El Quemao on Lanzarote is pretty sick, because I mean it's like the Canarian pipeline. You know, it's like if you want to learn how to get proper crazy drops, you go to Quemao. And then on Fuerte, I obviously love La Derecha, or it's also known as the Bubble. It's I just know the wave. I've been surfing it for 10 years, and no matter what conditions, I always get the best wave. So it's just so fun. It's like my backyard.
You can instinctively find that one that comes in. I surfed a bubble
Oh,
one day, a
yeah,
really good day with Sancho, maybe
yeah.
10 years ago, and he was just sitting out the back. He wasn't even catching many waves, and every time it was the good one, he'd be on it.
Sancho is so fun. Like he gets stressed. Like when it's good, you can tell. Even if it's only like 4 foot, 5 foot pumping, he gets stressed. You can tell like when the set is coming in, and you know it's his turn, but you could like sneak the wave off from him. The guy, he totally freaks with his short arms. He starts like hectically paddling around, and it's so funny.
So you would have seen him surf a lot there when you were growing up then.
Yeah, I mean, I still do, because Sancho's around a lot. I mean, he has his family there now. And yeah, when I was a kid, he actually took me with him. And I think him and Tim Bowl, who also moved back there now, are the two guys that yet inspire me, you know? Like when we go to the secret spots, or when it gets a bit heavier, like they're still big role models to me, because I mean, they surf crazy.
And I saw a hell barrel you posted on Insta the other day, that right hander from last year.
Yeah.
Is that a normal spot there, or a secret spot, or is that the Canaries?
The barrel I posted like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yep.
No, that's exactly the day we were talking about before. That's
France, that's the
that was the second that was
Guardian.
the 2nd of November in Estaño last year.
Yeah. I remember that day.
Yeah,
My, my,
probably the craziest session, one of the craziest sessions I've had. I was in Germany for 3 weeks, kind of ill, didn't serve at all. Came back, first session, I knew it was heavy, because I mean you were there as well. It was 15 jet skis. And so Sam, Didier's son, he told me out. And then I was paddling, so we are all sitting deeper than the skis, obviously. And then this one bomb came just in my place, and it was crazy. It was crazy, definitely.
and how did you sleep that night then, thinking about the barrel?
Actually, I didn't. Wow, it was pretty sick, I had to say. Like it took me a few days to realize it, because I think like in that context, in that scenery, it was probably the best barrel I've gotten so far in my life. So I didn't know what was about to happen, because pretty much whole Europe posted it, like all the big names like Mickey, Marlon, Didier, some Spanish guys. And it actually kind of blew up on media as well. And that's when I realized, wow, getting one wave like that on a day like that is worth more than winning my seventh German championship, just because this is the epicenter of surfing Europe, and it just makes such a big difference, because it people see it.
And especially next time you're out there, it's what Pipeline kind of is as well. Is next time you're out there, people know you're going to go if you're in the spot.
Yeah,
not going to fade you.
Nah, sure not.
And then you won the Pro Junior in Morocco not long ago. It was like the first German surfer to win since Marlon Lipke, wasn't it?
Yeah, true. It was actually a month and a day ago. It was in Morocco, Casablanca, in the app. It was pretty sick. It was such a tough event. I was going round by round, wave for wave, and in my mind I tried to play it as simple as I could, and then before I could even realize it, I'd won, and it's heavy, because the days after the event I didn't even know how to behave and how to like cope with it. And yeah, it's the first. I'm the second German who did it after Marlon. You're right. So he did it in 2004, and he ended up winning the European Tour the same year.
So I'm assuming that that's what your goal is this year.
Yeah.
Was that the first comp?
It was the first comp of the Junior Tour, so we have two more. So the point this year is it's 3 out of 3 comps that count. So I'm in a very good position, but I can't choke now.
Where's the next comp?
It's in La Torche, Bretagne.
Okay.
And yeah, I love that one. Like so far, it's been always the comp I've done my best result at. So yeah, let's see how it goes this year. Yeah, I'll just try to cope with the pressure and do the same as I did in Morocco, But yeah, I know I'm the guy to beat right now, so it's not going to be easy.
And what's the last one? Is it down here somewhere or Spain?
It's in Raso. It's in Galicia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does that give you if you win that, do you get like some sort of wild card into the upper level QSs?
No, but if I win that one, so if I win the European Tour, I'm obviously European under-20 champ, but also the top 2 guys go to the WSL finals in California. So back in the days,
yeah.
it used to be top 5 plus 1 wild card. Now it's top 2 plus 1 wild card. If you're lucky, maybe it's 2 wild cards. So yeah, you got to be at least top 2 or get lucky with a wild card. But yeah, I definitely want to go to those finals. I mean, the best juniors in the world go, and it's just a crazy event, just to surf it out in California.
And that's what the Portuguese girl, is it Vaselco?
Yeah, exactly. She actually won it last year.
Yeah. And from there, if you win that, then you get a wild card straight into the challenges, and you bypass everything else. I think
that is. I think you're right. It used to be you get a wild card to the first CT event. I remember Mateus Herli, he won, and then he had a wild card for Gold Coast for Snapper. But that was when challengers didn't exist. So now I think it's a challenger wild card. Yeah. But I'm not actually sure though.
So when did you start surfing competitions then?
I think my first. Well, the way it all started out was when I was 6, 7. My mom would take me surf because my dad he'd be busy and only surf with me on the weekends, and then he said, "Hey Tim, I'm gonna inscribe you to this local comp on Fuerte, on like a fun weekend where you go with family and stuff." And I actually did pretty good. I kind of got 5th place in the U16s, and I was like 9 years old. I mean, not a huge level, but like quite good for a 9-year-old. And then my dad said, "Fuck, the kid, he surfs, he likes competing." And then I went again to a comp when I was 11, and then 13, and then up from I think up from 12 years on, I was competing like at least 10 events a year.
And were you that tall when you were 12 years old?
Nah, I was so little. It was scary. Like when I was 14, 15, I grew 18 centimeters in like 1.5 years, like in 18 months. And I definitely had some severe back problems because of the growing, because bones were faster than muscles, and I wasn't training, I wasn't doing yoga, And I think many young surfers have the problem, especially guys, because they grow that fast, like in puberty. Um, and yeah, so I had to adapt. So I had to go with yoga, drink way more water, and now I'm also like definitely doing physical training and stuff.
So do you still do yoga?
Oh yeah, even when I'm
It's
not
the
training,
best,
like in
isn't it?
winter, when I'm
Yeah.
at home, I do my yoga. Like I love it. It's so good.
Have you ever done the hot yoga, the Bikram?
No, I didn't think so.
You know that it's in a room with 40 degrees.
Oh yeah, so your muscles are more stretchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 90 minutes. I've been doing it for a few years now. And then when I went back first time this year, I went to my local one just because I just lived down the road from Rip Curl, and I got there, and Mickey Picon was there, and then Mark Lacamar was there, and then Laurent
Yeah,
Pujol, Laurent Pujol who films at Nazare.
yeah.
Yeah.
He won a Grammy.
Yeah. So he was there, and like, yeah, it's really good. But I think after actual surfing, it's kind of the best sort of thing you can do to obviously help your muscles out, isn't it?
Yeah, and but still, like people think about yoga like just doing some funky, weird, slow positions, but it's actually so tiring. Like your
Oh yeah.
everything gets activated, like core, all the muscles, all the joints. It's actually like when I do 5 to 7 breath yoga, I sweat like hell.
So at the moment, is that your apartment there at Vubuku now?
Yeah, I'm sitting here on my terrace. It's about to get the sun's going down. Fuck, it's so warm. It's like 30 degrees the whole day, and it's totally dead flat. I mean, you've seen it. No surf around.
It's a pretty groovy little town, Vubuku, isn't it? With all the little, like, it's quite busy actually there with a lot of old people, but
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of old people, definitely. Like you got the old part of the village, which is like behind the dude, because it used to be a fisherman's town back when the Adur was going out here, and then they moved the Adur down south, so it kind of lost what it used to had. And they did like a elderly people residence here, and like a lot of, well, not like that, but a lot of people came and bought it in the 90s, and they're all getting old now and still doing the holidays here. So I'm mostly surrounded by older people, but I think it's pretty chill. It only gets like super crowded in July, August, but I try to avoid it because it's too many people, and I can't with so many people.
so you were pretty stoked though that you got like a little apartment to stay in France with.
Yeah, totally. Because I mean, it's for me, it's 15 minutes to Seigneur, so it's perfect.
And so what's your favorite wave here? Or it
Wow,
depends, doesn't it?
I can't tell. Like
Yeah, it
it
depends on
depends.
this.
It depends on the swell and on the year, right? I mean, there's years where Gravier doesn't stop pumping. Like last year, it didn't work at all. So for last year, it was definitely Estaño. I mean, it was working 24/7 pretty much.
Yeah. So have you been to Hawaii yet?
I wanted to go, but I didn't because of the Kemau event. So I said, "Fuck, I don't really have the budget. I'm gonna try do the event again." So no, I didn't go, but it's definitely my bucket list. But currently, I can't afford it, because it's just so expensive.
It's probably the most expensive place to go on a surf trip.
I think Tahiti is pretty heavy as well, but Hawaii probably more.
So you were telling me you're going to Indo in like 3 days,
Today's the 8th and 2.
2 days. So where in Indo are you going to?
I just called Manu Migueles, a good friend of mine, filmer from Asturias, who moved to Canary Islands, and I think he knows pretty good. And he told me the winds and swells are kind of weird, so he told me to maybe go South Sumatra, which is probably most consistent right now. I'm gonna go there first, and then straight after that, I wanna, just take a bit of more money and then charge the swells if there's some. But currently, it looks a little bit dead in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, but it'll most probably, you'd think it'll kick up as well because they're coming into prime season now. So
I hope.
at least if you're going there now while it's small, it's going to give you a chance to actually get there, get set up.
Yeah,
You've been
yeah.
there before?
I've been 3 times. been 2018 and 19 when I was a grum. Got totally eaten up by the reef, but had some very good waves in hollow trees. And then last year I went again for a movie, which was quite successful, but we didn't score at all. So the movie was good, but the surfing was pretty poor because we had like a lack of swell for 4 weeks and weird rains and low pressure patterns. So it was very weird. So I left with a very bad taste last year.
It's crazy. You can go anywhere in the world, and especially if you come from a place like you, it's sometimes hard to score better waves than what you actually get at home, isn't it?
Yeah, but anyways, like I'm in winter. I love to be at home. You know, I have my little comfort zone, my island people, my waves. But in summer, I mean, there's not many places that are better than Indonesia. So I don't mind going there. You know, like whatever, like wherever I go outside of Europe, it's gonna be better than Europe. So I'm not complaining actually.
And you're just going to help you grow as a surfer anyway.
Yeah, for sure. New people, new waves, new experiences. Always, yeah.
You think something like Desert Point, or
Maybe. I mean, just whatever shows up on the chart. On the swell chart. I want to go. I have 7 weeks. So the first 2 weeks I want to go South Sumatra, and then I see. Definitely wanna go back to the Mentawais and finally score Kanduis. I'm very hungry for that wave because I think it's just one of the best waves in the world and so scary at the same time. So yeah, definitely want to get some 10-foot Kanduis if I can
how
at any
how
cost.
how big did you get hollow trees?
Oh my God. When I was the second time I went when I was 15, I remember it on the swell forecast was 15 feet 19 seconds. So so you can tell HT is normally pretty crowded in high season. So all the boats left, everyone on land left. I remember there's like 6, 7 guys staying on land. And I had to walk around to ask some guys to paddle out with me. In the end, I went with a 16 and a 19-year-old Brazilian. So we're like 3 grams out there. And so HTs, when it gets big, people that know about the wave and have seen videos, it doubles up. So it was doing the double up twice. So you'd basically sit on the peak and see kind of a huge closeout wall disappear in front of you to rebuild, break again, and then do it again. So it was huge. Like I got one of the like few of the biggest barrels of my life. It was totally crazy. It was an experience for sure, but it wasn't good. It was just big and some random barrels. I think I surfed 3 hours for 3 barrels, but it was totally crazy.
And you didn't hit the coral at all?
No, actually HTs when it gets big, it's so deep you can't tell. Like on the small days I hit myself a few times because it's super shallow, but when it gets big,
There's
I
more
think
water.
it's pretty easy to drown because there's just so much water around. Like it's scary.
So what size board were you on that for that?
Back then I was 15, so my normal board was 6.0 and I took a 6.2. Normally, like right now, my normal board is a 6.1, so I would have gone with 6.6. I don't like getting too much of a board. You know, I have long arms. I'm very tall. I have a good paddle. I'm confident on my paddle, so I don't like taking too much board because then imagine you don't get barrels. You want to do turns anyway. So yeah, 6.6 max, not more.
So what boards are you taking on this trip?
I'm taking probably 2 6.6s and then 2 normal like 6.1 competition boards and one epoxy in case it gets small. That's all. So 5 boards. I hope it lasts.
You can always get some boards over there if you have to.
Yeah, always. Probably crusty, rusty boards, but cheap.
Yeah. But the other thing is, if your boards don't last, it's because the surf wasn't that good.
Yeah, or because I maybe fucked up and pulled into too many closeouts. I remember the first year I was going full on beast mode, pulling into every fucking closeout, and then later I was wondering why I was all cut open.
So have you still got like family back in Germany, or you must have?
I do have cousins and uncles and aunts, but I don't know none of them. So only know my grandparents that do live in Germany, and I go visit them or they go visit me. But nah, I don't really have much contact with them.
So you grow up. If both your parents were German, you grew up speaking German in the household, though.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Have you got any brothers or sisters?
I have a younger sister. She's now in middle school.
Does she surf?
She windsurfs and she paints and does some acrobatic stuff. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And do you speak French?
It's gotten pretty good, I have to say. It's far from fluent because I'm missing a bit of vocabulary and verbs, but it's gotten pretty solid. I mean, I'm good with languages, but I think till end of the year it should be fluent.
I heard you say "adure" before, and I was thinking that you say it better than I say it after 25 years here.
Yeah, I always like to say words in another language, like in that language, even though I'm speaking a different one, you know?
That'll be good. That'll be like your fourth language then.
Yes, and then I'll also improve my Indonesian once again. I think it's super easy language. So I hope that by my mid-20s I speak 5 languages fluent, and then yeah, I mean I can read Portuguese perfectly, but I don't think, like, in my point of view, it's not a beautiful language, so I'm not interested in learning it, but I can totally read it and understand it.
Okay, so the Latin ones you got covered. If you get an Italian girlfriend, you'll probably end up being able to speak Italian pretty quick as well.
Sure, I would learn Italian for an Italian girlfriend.
So after your 7 weeks in Indo, when you get back
Yeah.
here, what is it? It's planned to come back for the next competition, I assume.
I arrive end of July. First comp is mid of August. It's the Lacano Pro and then Anglais. So 2 QSs in a row. I'm gonna do those 2, and then the next QS I'm gonna skip because I rather train and focus before the junior QSs. So the 2 QSs just before the junior QS I'm not gonna do because we have a very tight schedule. We have 7 weeks and 7 competitions in a row. Less than 48 hours to get from one event to the next one. So I'm gonna save my energy and focus to actually win the tour, because I mean it's the last chance I have to do it, and I think it's a great opportunity. So I wanna invest my time and energy in that.
So Didier was telling me like you're the best 6 foot. What did you say? You are 6'4" or 6'6"?
6'5", yeah, 6'4", 6'5". In meters, I'm 194. I just remeasured again. I was telling everyone, like in every interview or just normal conversations, that I'm 192. I just measured and I'm 194. So I actually grew 2 centimeters over the last year. I mean, I don't wonder, anyways. But yeah, I'm huge. I have not too good of a physique for the European QS grind.
But he told me you're a small wave wizard. Where did that come from?
Oof, I think I had a very I was lacking a lot technically on my backhand, because fuerte is mostly rights, and generally, like beach breaks, I was definitely in behind the guys of my age, and I trained it so much, and I did so much mobility and so much yoga that I got super flexible for my size. And just because of training every day in shitty ways, especially backside, I think I've improved a lot, and even gotten to the point where I can win pro juniors on my backside. So it's been a lot of work and sacrificing good sessions to go for bad ones.
But after you win something like your last competition, it makes it all worthwhile then.
Yeah, totally. I think I've had 2 or 3 very rough years, and then without even winning a single event. And then last year I won the German Champs Open, which has been on my bucket list forever, I think. So it was cool to get an Open title. And then this year it kind of all came together. But I think I'm not done yet. You know, I think I shouldn't rest on the success I had, because I can take out the tour, and I'm totally committing to that.
It's just the beginning, mate.
Yeah,
I saw you get the try.
As Kobe Bryant said.
Yeah, you got the trophy in the backyard at my surf camp last year for the presentations. That's when I saw you, I remember.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And then I think it was a
Yeah.
couple of days later that we surfed Guardian a couple of times. You remind me
Wow.
of Owen Wright with your paddling.
I actually, it's cool that you say it. I've checked a lot of PDFs of Owen, like his, how you say, of his physique, and I am pretty much the same as Owen. I have the same weight. I'm as tall. My wingspan is the same, so I'm pretty much Owen. Yeah.
Which is handy because you can see where that, like, some people could say that you're too tall to surf or something like that, but now you've got someone like a mirror image that you can
Yeah.
aspire to.
Yeah, and I mean, his backside as well. I look at it so much. It's so compact and so quick, like especially for his size. And in Oz, they ride a bit longer boards than we do in Europe, so I think it's even more impressive.
I think his normal board at one stage was like a 6'3".
Yeah, it used to be 6'2.5", I think, and then now he went down to 6'1" again. I don't know how or why, but he went down to 6'1".
Did you see him beat? Were you watching surfing when he like beat Kelly in New York?
Mm-hmm. Wow! Oh my God, the event with the biggest prize money ever. That was crazy.
Hey, so we do a thing on the Insiders when we get to the. I'm going to let you go shortly, but we do a thing each week where we have a do's and a don'ts. So I'll
Yeah.
kind of I'll give you an example. I'm going to say, for me at the moment, do is as soon as there's a flat spell, get into a training schedule, because I noticed, like, we had waves 2 weeks ago where I was surfing every day, and then
Mm-hmm.
last week it was flat, and because I wasn't looking at the long-term forecast, I wasn't doing anything and drinking beer and whatever. But this week
Uh-huh.
I've started training because as soon as the waves come, we're going to get smoked. And
Yeah.
what would I say for don't? I would say don't overlook tall surfers, because they
Mm-hmm.
can, even if they don't look like Oki, they can still win comps. So
Yeah.
what's a
Yeah.
couple of do's and don'ts that you would think of?
Um. Wow. Like in general, just about surfing topic.
Surfing or anything?
Don't be aggressive in the water as a tourist or foreigner in another country.
Yes,
Or
that's a good
I,
one.
I think that one's heavy. We all know it.
Yeah.
Do girls do rip? Oh yes, they do. Fuck. I just watched the ISA games. Wow, the level in women's surfing has grown. It's crazy. Like especially younger generation, it's heavy. So more do's and don'ts. I don't know. What do you have?
No, I gave you a couple of mine, but
Ah.
on your one about the girls, and we had Sophie McCulloch earlier this year on the podcast, and then she got injured just
Oh,
before.
really?
Just before the CT, she got injured,
Wow. Wow.
and I saw her the other day in the ISA, which was just ripping.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Who do you think we got another 4 minutes? So let's do a quick preview. By the
Yeah.
time this comes out, maybe it'll already have happened. Who do you think's going to win El Salvador?
Uh, I don't know if you've heard, but they already finished the comp. So Alan Clean had won.
No. I mean the CT.
Ah, the CT. Oh my God,
Yeah, it
that's a
starts
tricky one
tomorrow.
then. Oh, wow. I don't know. It's tough. I'm gonna say some of the Brazilian guys, probably João Chianca once again. I
No,
mean,
you reckon?
one more event win, and on the women's side, I don't know. I feel like who? Well, I mean, Tati just got a taste of the waves. She just became ISA world champ, so maybe Tati's on a roll. But fuck, that one's tough. I'm gonna go with John DeFay.
Okay. Yeah, she comes
Yeah.
second, didn't she? Or third, second or third?
In the Aaron Brooks came second in the ISA, and she
Okay,
came
yeah.
third. Yeah.
And did you see like both Cowley and Vahini qualified for the Olympics?
Yeah, Cowley. I saw Cowley's interview. He broke down. He was crying, and he said, what did he say? Hard work and dreaming big pays off. He said, very good quote.
He's got to be like one of the underground favourites for it too, hasn't he?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't wonder if he takes out gold. To be honest, I mean, even if John and or Kelly qualify, I mean, the guy he has comboed Kelly on switch in chopes. Who's ever done that? Nobody.
And imagine how psyched he'll be. Their hometown.
He's gonna have the biggest crowd ever.
And I nearly think the same for Vahini.
Yeah, it's sick. I mean, it just by them qualifying this year already, it looks like everything has gone their way, So I think they've built their momentum this year, so they only have to take it to next year, to Paris 24.
So I guess you've surfed against Cowley a few times because he does even last year he was doing the junior comps around Europe, I think, wasn't he?
Who?
Cowley.
Kelly? Nah, junior comps?
Yeah, I think I remember him. He went to he went to Azores.
QS?
He went to the Azores to do the junior one out there. I remember because I was talking to someone about that.
Kelly.
Cowley.
Cowley.
Cowley. Yeah, not Kelly.
He won. He won in
yeah,
Azores.
that's right.
Actually, I've had a few heats with Cowley. The year he got his third European junior title, it was in Espino. It was my best event till that moment. I got 9th, being 16, which was pretty good. And I had him and Sam in the quarters, and the guy surfed the 20 with 2 waves. I led him, so I let go on the first wave. He did a 10. I did the same mistake again, another 10, and he comboed me on a 20. And I was honestly, it was the hardest heat in my life to digest. I think I still haven't gotten over it yet. 20 points.
You got smoked. Well, dude, thanks a lot for coming on, and come past the coffee shop tomorrow or the day after if you've got any time, and I'll do you a smoothie.
Yeah, for sure. I'll go chat with Finn again, same as today, and then I'll see you around, definitely.
Hey, there was another don't for you. Don't drink coffee.
Yeah, I think caffeine is a drug, so I try to avoid it. Same as alcohol or beers and stuff. So I only drink it when I'm super down, kind of sad to get awake, or when I'm actually super sleepy and I need it on long drives or after traveling. I take it. But normally I try to skip coffee because it's just not good.
All right, mate. Well, thanks very much. I'll see you soon.
Thanks a lot, man.